so just wanted to talk to you about DJ laptops, or what you should use for tools for your DJing, like with your MP3s and stuff. So there are options where you can just use a controller, but some people prefer to use a laptop. I personally prefer to use a laptop, a bit more free, ease of movement and freedom, and if you need songs off the internet, they're there, and it's just easier for me. I will admit, I hate Apple, but hands down, you cannot beat Apple for music creation, editing, playback. You'll find that Apple's normally the one that people pick. The problem I've got with Apple for any normal person that doesn't have a budget based on a business or anything like that, anything out of the ordinary for normal people, is the freedom and longevity. So Apple's devices are dictated by their iOS, so that's for me a killer. Like, I want to be able to keep a laptop for 5-6 years if I have to, if I need to. You can't do it. Like, depending on what software you're using and if you update and stuff, you want new features, you can't do it. Windows, you can do it, but hardware will be a limiting factor, which I prefer. So, that aside, essential things that you'll need for a DJ laptop, in my opinion. It's obviously my opinion, this isn't exactly what you need, but I found a light up keyboard is best. So you probably can't really see that very well, but there you go. Very handy for being in the dark when you're DJing. Very, very handy. You just can't beat it. So I've got a set in a minute, so as I say, that is a solution for me. Processor, minimum i3. I would say there's nothing open, I don't know why I'm saying that. For me, i3 minimum. Don't go any older than 4 or 5 gens. If you can help it, if you have to, go for it, but it will start to eventually slow down, which you'll see. It won't be an instant thing, it'll be a gradual thing. I've had this laptop about 4 or 5 years, 4 years. It's 8th gen, so I got it when 8th gen was like the latest. It didn't survive long before the 9th gen came out. They're very similar, 8th and 9th gen, so it's still good, but I need an additional laptop for daytime job, one for DJing. So the one that I've picked for DJing is an i5 Lenovo. So I'm going to talk to you about the brands and which ones are best for, in my opinion, just in general. I find HP's very problematic with Wi-Fi for some weird reason. It's a very common trait. I hate Lenovo, but I have a Lenovo, so as much as I'm quite biased to certain brands, if a brand releases something and it's above and beyond, I'm picking it. As I say, I'm not stuck on one brand, but I am brand biased. So if I was picking a laptop, straight away I'm going to look at Asus, even though they're not the cheapest to repair. Dell, and then maybe HP, maybe Lenovo, and price is also a very strong one. So a lot of laptops now aren't upgradable. All of the devices are soldered into the motherboard, which both of these laptops have soldered RAM, but they also have expandable RAM, which is something that I had to hunt to get. This one has USB-C. Probably better I just unbox this. So I'm going to put my laptop away now. But yeah, as I was saying with the brands, I find Lenovo tend to make custom drivers for their devices that is really annoying, because you can't just use a device driver for that device. If Lenovo mess with it, oh, there goes my charger. This one is a open box product, because you save some money doing that. But yeah, back to what I was saying. You'll find that these laptops, Lenovo, are very quite vicious with their hardware. So they tend to make bespoke drivers that you can't use the generic Intel driver for that same device. That's their habit. Whereas Dell, complete opposite. They'll give you the driver packs, generic drivers that work, problem free. Oh, this thing is like solid metal. Very nice. But I will give it to Lenovo. They make the ugliest and the prettiest laptops at the same time. So, God, this thing's a fingerprint magnet. So bad. Also, I'll tell you what persuaded me to this laptop was USB-C. So that's what I was hunting for. So I looked at all the different brands, and as I said, Lenovo, very bad with their drivers, but it had everything I needed. And as much as I'm biased to laptops, that's what I opted for. Yeah, so that's Lenovo. If you can get around that, then they're actually a decent brand. And the other last thing they like to do with their expensive X1 carbon laptops that are like nearly £3,000 is make a bespoke Ethernet adapter that only works for that laptop that you must buy with a £3,000 laptop. Surely they would just make their own adapter and just allow you to use whatever you want, but apparently not. You try putting a standard USB Ethernet adapter on one of those, it will refuse it. It will say, doesn't know what the device is. So, points against you, Lenovo, because that is stupid. All of these brands are guilty of something. Like HPs don't charge for USB-C very well unless you use a HP charger. I mean, that's stupid. I'm hoping it's not the same with this laptop. And Asus, all of their laptops with USB-C are over £1,000, roughly. There are a few that aren't. So that was a no-go for me. I looked at Acer, not really got much in the way of USB-C. Dell's USB-C is extortionate, as I said, one of the best supports. Not the most visually pleasing laptop, but that's not why you buy laptops to be visually pleasing, it's just a nice addition. So for me this time round, Asus didn't have the features I needed, so I went for Lenovo. Yeah, as you can see, I've just switched this one on for the first time, and it's got backlight bleed. Ugh. Very common on IPS panels. Can I live with it? Probably. So I see why this is an open box return, because someone's obviously seen that backlight bleed and been like, nope. Yeah, I can live with backlight bleed. Let's see if we can get the keyboard lit up again. There you go. USB-C charger, which is a go for me. Yeah, as I said, anyway, our laptop market is very vicious now at the moment, and not being able to expand your RAM. I mean, if you buy a laptop with 4 gig RAM and you're DJing from it or running any programs you need, you're going to run out of 4 gig quick. I mean, operating systems now typically take that. This has got 8 gig RAM in it, soldered, but it has the ability to expand. And if you didn't have that, the laptop's dead in what, 3 or 4 years, when Windows 11's the standard. So very nice touchpad, very nice. Yeah, I can ignore backlight bleeds. I know a lot of you probably can't, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm not going to complain. Got it cheap enough, it does its job. Just remember, when you're picking your laptop, make sure you've got the processing power. An i5 is a nice bet, or AMD Ryzen 5 and above, so maybe even a Ryzen 7 as well. That's what you want to aim for. Anything below that, unless you're doing Word documents, don't torture yourself. That's all I can say to you. Having a graphics card in there for DJing, not needed. A lot of things that actually having a graphics card is not needed. So do your research. That's all I can say to you. And some generations, some brands are really good. Some generations, other brands are really good. Try your best to not stick to one. As much as I hate Lenovo, I had to let them have this laptop this time around. Best way to work. That's the best advice I can give to you. I would say to you as well, if you're doing anything that requires you to plug into screens, try your best not to get anything less than 11th gen or 3rd gen Ryzen, because HDMI, you will not get 4K 60 Hz otherwise. So that's another important thing to remember. That's it. I'll probably give you guys a bit more information on this laptop after I've used it a bit more. Again, I'll do another video later on when I get to that point. But yeah, ciao.